Hey, this is Viktor Villand, and this video is about weekly planning. So, weekly planning is basically the foundation of our success, and you can't believe how powerful this tactic is. Uh, to be honest, then we can put all our success on this one tactic that we are still using, and all our company and employees are doing it still weekly for many years already. And retrospective is something like here. And that's another part of the weekly planning. So the first part in a weekly planning that's happening on Friday is you're gonna go through the weekly goals, current weekly goals, and you're gonna set done or not done. The next part is this, that you're gonna go to retrospective. And in retrospective, what you're gonna do is you're gonna both write down stuff here. It's better if you do it before the call to save time. It's really necessity, because otherwise your call will be too long. But basically, we gave you some examples here that we are writing down every week. It was like from last week, actually. So stop not so good. You want to basically retrospective idea is that you identify what went poorly, so you can address it, identify what went well, so you can repeat it, and okay, you document surprises, risks, and you track it, and you improve the process. There's no room for blaming or laughing. It's about just discussing stuff that so you can improve from your past. So week 48, you're gonna add here stop not so good. And both you can just, after you have added, you just go through this stop not so good together. Okay, Tony added this, Tony speaks about that, I added maybe that, so I will speak about this. And so we just kind of like discuss about stuff. How did our week go? And we get to this, again, to this flow, and it's going to be really powerful. The second thing is continue good. You also need to speak about things that are good in the past week, and so you add stuff there as well. Absolutely, there's no limitation how you should write. You just write and you discuss this and start improve. So sometimes if there's something bad, you can immediately create something new or some improvement sentence here. And by the way, improvement sentences can also become goals. It's really like normal that we see that we need to improve something, and I will create a weekly goal from this improve stuff here. Then you write down what puzzles you. It's basically like just one thing that really puzzles you, and you can add some stuff here. What did you do this week that increased sales and profit or customers? Maybe you added, maybe you did something. If you don't, just don't add anything. Increased your capital, made us more competent. It's about learning. Took us closer to our vision. Well, this is maybe you can have a vision, maybe you have a yearly goal. So maybe you have, what is your next year goal? So what took you closer? What do you think took you closer with this last week? And so then you can add one single thing you could do next week that could have the biggest impact in your business. This is again really important. So don't forget that you always need to you set quarterly goals, but sometimes you kind of start to deviate and you see different paths. So you can always kind of reset the quarterly goal, but you can every week you need to think, okay, what's the one thing next week that can bring you the biggest impact in your life? It's just one thing. And yeah, you can add here. So for us, it was these things. So, and then you add a rating for the week, and that's it. That's whole your retrospective process. So next week when you start, you're gonna copy this thing here, and you're gonna place it, copy like here, like this. And you add the name, week number, new date, and you start filling it again. That's why we have this template there. here. So this is how we do retrospective every single Friday. Our team's doing, all our people in the company has done this for all these years, and we are still doing it the same way as I just described. And it's really, really powerful. It gets you more closer to your goals. It gets your energy flowing. You start to think and also collaborate more with other people. All right. So now you know about retrospective. So next thing is going to do is you're going to schedule 15-minute daily huddle with your accountability partner. And this is also really important. By the way, everybody are busy, so we are using Google Calendar. Just create a calendar and make your weekly huddle from Monday to Thursday, 15 minutes sometime. And you're going to have a Skype call where you're going to go and speak about, okay, is there any problems you're facing right now? Basically, 15-minute weekly huddle is that you both have 7 minutes if there's two people. And the only thing, basically the call is about, is there any problems that we cannot achieve our weekly goals? That's it. Is there any problems? If there's some problems, maybe we can discuss this quickly or ask some help. And yeah. And later, when you've done both, you can share one win. So if you have some win, something great that happened that day, then it's really, really good to end the call with something good as well. So then you also will schedule 1 hour weekly planning and retro Skype call for Friday. And those calls, both, basically you're going to have 5 calls every day. You're going to have 1 call. From Monday to Friday, from Monday to Thursday, you're going to have 15-minute call. And on Friday, you're going to have 1 hour call. And this is the planning. For planning, it's good when you prepare. You prepare, you're not good, not so good, improve, you add all that stuff there before the call. The same thing, you're going to think about weekly goals. You can do weekly goals also on during the call, but if you spend a little bit of time before, you can already capture the goals that you want to do, and then you will have a faster call on the planning. When plannings go more than 2 hours, it's going to be really frustrating. It's going to be just, it's really difficult already. So keeping it 1 hour is really sweet. And by the way, these calls are mandatory. Means that if the other person doesn't show up, then the other person will say, why didn't you show up? You need to start showing up. And we have these problems. And we still, if we cannot show up, we're going to inform, ask other person permission. Hey, I cannot do it. Can we do it 15 minutes later or 10 minutes later? But usually it's I don't know, it's so important calls that we take those things really, really seriously. And we do it for all these years. These are mandatory. And that's why they are powerful. That's why they're powerful. You take them seriously. And of course, you create Google Calendar invites. So it means that the brain we have is not meant for storing information. The brain we have is meant for processing information. And so it's good when you have calendar invites that will remind you maybe 30 minutes or 50 minutes, and maybe both before the call. So you will not forget that you need to be online. And also we want you to submit, when you're done with your weekly planning, there's a link in the members area. We want you to submit your screenshot of your first weekly goals during this month, and we will get you badge. And this we also have this badge system. And the reason for this is that we really want everybody to see who is following along and who is not. And so this stuff we are teaching right now, this is just so powerful that I think this is the best technique you can ever learn. And this is really necessary to get really, really far. And so make sure that when you set goals, you're specific. Your goals should be measurable. You don't set too large goals, so you need to make things that you only have 1 week from Friday to Friday. Basically, you have just, maybe even 4 days, 5 days. So make something that you can really achieve and make it relevant. What's necessary to achieve this moment based on your quarterly and yearly goal. And sometimes there's goals that are not based on your quarterly, but you sense that you need to get those things done. So add those, don't worry. And always make them time based. And that's why we have weekly cycle. We have one cycle, and the cycle is from Friday to Friday with the weekly planning. That's why we call it weekly planning. And yeah, I guess that's a wrap. So I will write down more specifically. By the way, you have also SOP in your members area about this particular weekly goals.